we're out here in the park, of course. You see these trees? God is the husbandman. Christ Jesus is the true vine, and we are the branches. And they are all one. No, none of these branches can say, I am he. But Christ is the one. They are all one together. The same root in the ground planted together. All of these leaves and with the branches and everything, they are one. One tree. One tree. Now, a branch alone can do nothing. What it would do is it will wither and it will eventually die, because alone, like I said, no one can say I am he. You say I am he, it's like you're claiming to live alone. Only God can be I am he. Only he can live alone and never die. He's eternal. Only Christ can say I am he. He is the anointed one. He came from the Father in the flesh. So no man, no human being can say I am he. That's like saying you abide alone. In abiding alone, you're no longer one. I heard Pastor Monique say you get the nutrients from a tree. You can no longer get the nutrients that come from the ground have the same root. So what happens is, when you abide alone like this, these things will eventually die off. The green leaves that you see will eventually die off. These, whatever they are, they eventually die off. Abiding alone. And you know what people do? You begin to be worthless, and they gather these things up to be cast into the fire. It no longer has any purpose. Abiding alone. I tell you, but a tree, I just saw something. Let's go. Like I said, remember, I said it abides alone. If you look at this, and if you could zoom it, that branch right there, it has no leaves. Some of them, they have no leaves. It has nothing on it. That branch right there connected to the tree has a better chance of being healthy. The thing is, it's still one. It's connected. It does not abide alone. It still has purpose. The green leaves can come, the fruit can come, because it's connected to the true vine. Now, the husbandman, God, he gives us grace so that we can bear forth fruit. Understand that being alone, you cannot bear fruit of itself. It cannot, except to be connected to the true vine. So that branch right there, there's no hope in it without its connection. I'm talking about divine connection. And because it's still connected, there's still hope for it. It can grow. It can have green leaves in its season. It can have fruit in its season. But if it abide alone, it's going to wither. It's going to wither. It's going to dry up. It's going to die. It's going to be useless. No purpose. And man, they gathered them up to be burnt. So guys, stay connected to the true vine. That's it. The true vine is Christ Jesus. Deuces. P.S. y'all. If you feel like you are this branch you were once connected to the true vine. Show them the tree again. You were once one. You were once in fellowship. See? The branches, the trees. This represents oneness. This represents fellowship. There's no fellowship without oneness. Christ came for the sake of this. He came for the sake of oneness. He said that I pray that they be one, even as the Father and I are one. He came for oneness. Look, if we are abiding alone, we are no longer a part of the fellowship. And so if this is you, and you feel like you have walked away from the faith, who is Christ Jesus, there is still hope for you. that by the preaching of the gospel, if you receive that gospel, that you too can be engrafted again to the fellowship. And so please, if anyone call on the name of the Lord, he shall be saved. And those of us who were engrafted, we have nothing to boast about, because it's about Christ Jesus. He's the one that allowed us to be a part of him. We are not aside from him. We are now with him. We don't abide alone, because we are now with him. We are now in that perfect fellowship with Christ Jesus and the Father, and with one another. That means other believers. God bless you all. Deuces.